Hey guys, this is Alfred back with another video, and in today's video I just want to talk about the 5.3 banners which are about to come out on New Year's, and I'm going to talk about whether or not you should pull for these characters or not. And with all these kind of videos, please pull for your favorite characters. Once again, this is a gacha game. Please pull for your waifus and husbandos. Doesn't mean the character is meta, means you should feel enticed to pull for them if you don't like them. If you're here for a meta perspective, I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on which of these characters are worth your PRIMOGEMS in the current meta. And with all that said, let's begin with this video. Now, let's first talk about the phase 1 banners, which features the 2 new characters, which is a little different from how hoyoverse used to release their characters. Let's first talk about Mavuika. Mavuika is the Pyro Archon for Natalan, and she is a super versatile character. She can be your main DPS, where she is on field doing pyro damage, or she can also be your sub DPS, where she is doing off-field pyro damage and supporting your main DPS. She is really strong, and in my opinion, every account should have the Pyro Archon. She can be played in many teams, and the best part about her kit is the fact that she's able to play a sub DPS role. If you need Xiangli in both phases of the Spiral Abyss, you can put Xiangli in one, and then now you can use Mavuika in the second one. Obviously, Mavuika prefers characters that are from Natalan and characters that use the Night Soul Blessing. This is so that she can charge up her ult much faster, and her ult will also do more damage. Nonetheless, you can still use Mavuika in teams that do not use Night Soul Blessing. For example, teams that auto attack a lot and require the pyro element in one of their reactions. These such teams can utilize Mavuika, but obviously she is better off paired with Natalan characters. So if you have been rolling a lot, especially in the Natalan banners, you should definitely look to pick up Mavuika. She is a very strong character. Now, the second character which comes with her is Citlali. Citlali is a cryo shielder and sub DPS. Unlike Diona, who shields and heals, Citlali looks to only shield and do damage as well. The main reason why you actually want to pull for Citlali is you want to play freeze and melt teams. This is because her passive reduces hydro res and pyro res. Now, the catch for freeze teams is that you have to note that she does reduce hydro res for freeze. Because she doesn't reduce cryo res, she isn't as effective in teams that use Ganyu and Ayaka to proc freeze. Instead, you rather her being used in teams where the hydro character is proccing freeze. For example, Tartaglia, Ayato, or even Kokomi. But does that mean you cannot use Citlali with Ayaka and Ganyu? Obviously not. They're both cryo, and you obviously can use Citlali as a battery for Ayaka and Ganyu. However, due to the nature of how her passive works, obviously you want to be playing her with a hydro DPS that will be proccing the freeze reaction. And what I think hoyoverse is trying to incentivize is for people to use her with Bualani, who is the hydro main DPS for Natalan. And obviously she can also be played in melt teams. So Rejoice melt means you finally have a support which amplifies her melt damage. So obviously if you're playing archetypes like that, and if you're pulling for Mavuika and also planning to play Mavuika in a melt team, definitely look to pick up Citlali. So now let's move on to the phase 2 banners. The first character I want to talk about is Arlecchino. Arlecchino is by far hands down the strongest pyro DPS in the game right now. She is stronger than Lini, who is a burst pyro DPS, and she's definitely also stronger than Hu Tao at C0. For Hu Tao to be competitive, you really need her to be at C1 in order to really match Arlecchino's power level. This just shows how strong Arlecchino is, and the fact that she also uses Bond of Life makes her such a strong character right now in the game, and definitely a character you should pick up. I feel like every account should have a pyro DPS. Even if you have Mavuika, and even let's say you have any of the pyro DPS I mentioned before, I think it's still really worth the pull for Arlecchino. She is just such a powerhouse. And lastly, let's talk about Clorinde. Clorinde is the premium Electro main DPS. She is stronger and easier to use than Sino, which is the main reason why a lot of people pulled for Clorinde in the first place. And the best part about Clorinde, similar to Arlecchino, is that she also uses Bond of Life as the main way of dealing damage, which is why Clorinde is very strong in the meta. I dare say more efficient than other Electro DPS like Sino and Kaching, who really cannot just match up to Clorinde's raw DPS. If you really need a strong and decent Electro main DPS, you should be definitely looking to pull for Clorinde. So in conclusion, what are the characters I recommend? In my opinion, all 4 characters are fantastic, but you should definitely always look to pull for newer characters first, such as Mavuika, especially if you have a lot of Natalan characters. And you should also be looking to pull for Citlali, who looks to be a really decent cryo support / sub DPS. If you don't have a pyro DPS, I feel like Arlecchino will still do much more damage than Mavuika, so you can look to pull for Arlecchino if you're not planning to pull for Mavuika. However, obviously Mavuika being the Pyro Archon, she will have much more versatility and usage than Arlecchino, who can only be played as a main DPS. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please do leave a like. it shows Peshu do more. Comment down below who are you planning to pull or who are you saving for in the future. I did make a video of the Chronicle Wish banner, so if you want to check that out, link is in the description. And finally, do subscribe. We'll be doing more videos like this in the future. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.